Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into Vidiot Entertainment Studios. This is the Nerdlust Daddy, and recently the Pids and I, we took a trip to Las Vegas to tour and experience some of the local restaurants, arcades, barcades, and the Pinball Hall of Fame in its new location. And we'd like to share that experience with you along with some of our thoughts and recommendations based on the places we visited. So join us, won't you, as Vidiot Entertainment Studios takes on Las Vegas. During our visit, the Pids and I, we stayed at the Harrah's Las Vegas right there on the Strip. The room was excellent. It had a clean bathroom with an open glass walk-in shower and sliding glass bathroom door. Twin queen-size beds, which the Pids was excited about because he got his own. Plenty of desk space to work while we were there. A wall-mounted 32-inch TV. And a gorgeous view of the Strip that also looked down on the hotel pool. And just look at this view here at nighttime. Beautiful. After settling in, the Pids and I, we packed up the backpack, strapped up, and headed out to see the sights. Let's first look at and critique the gamer food that I sampled during our stay. These would all be considered fast food places, but every one of them I had never tried before, so while they may be as common as, say, a McDonald's or a Starbucks in your area, they were new to me. First up, White Castle. Now this one is pretty popular and well known. It's well known enough to have had an entire movie based around two friends trying to get to one to enjoy their slider burgers. I chose the double original slider meal, and while waiting to order I noticed that they also had a sweet little treat called a birthday cake on a stick. Well, I just had to get that too or I knew I'd regret it. I always start with french fries, and as you can see, I'm not very impressed here. They tasted like any store-bought, crinkle-cut fries that you can get anywhere and seemed slightly undercooked and limp. Straight chip fudders. Next, I tried these sliders that have been put on a pedestal by nearly everything I've ever seen, read, or anyone I've ever talked to. The bun was soggy, the patties were flavorless and had the look and consistency of processed meat that had been formed into a tube and then sliced thin like Spam. To say they were a disappointment, that would be an understatement. Chit fudders. Finally, I tried the birthday cake on a stick. Just look at Him's. Him's a tiny little birthday cake slice on a stick dipped in a vanilla frosting shell. You could tell they kept them nice and cool, which was enjoyable in the hot Las Vegas weather. The cake was literally birthday cake flavor like a funfetti cake, or any birthday cake flavored treat you may have had before. Consistency was firm, but not hard, due to being chilled, so it still had a nice give to it, and the vanilla frosting shell complemented it well. Just look at that silly grin on my face. This was the highlight of the meal by miles. It gets an ecstatic hoo-woo from me. I highly recommend at least trying one of these sweet little treats, if you have the opportunity. Now, Shake Shack. When we stopped here, I decided to pass on a meal and just try a shake. They are called Shake Shack after all, so they should have some of the best shakes around, right? So I stepped up and I ordered a chocolate malt shake with whipped cream on top. First, it took around 20 minutes for them to get me my shake. This did cause some concern with me that potentially my shake may have sat there for a while already prepared, but melting and losing its consistency in the heat. Once I got it, I tried it out and was not impressed. The consistency was more like a thickened chocolate milk than a shake. The taste was fine, but it also wasn't very cold either. Frankly, places like our local area Big Bun for roughly the same price, around $8, provides a way thicker and colder milkshake with your choice of blended toppings that puts Shake Shack to shame. This one's a chit fudder. Pizza Cake. This one is a little pizza by the slice shop located right off the Strip and is part of Harrah's. They have a wide variety of pizza to choose from, as well as by the slice dessert pizzas and by the slice cake. I went with a slice each of buffalo chicken, topped with white cheese sauce, mozzarella, buffalo chicken, chopped parsley, and drizzled with hot sauce. The Boss, topped with classic pizza sauce, mozzarella, cup and crisp pepperoni, sliced sausage, and smoked bacon crumbles, and the Spicy Supreme Pizza that's topped with classic pizza sauce, mozzarella, cup and crisp pepperoni, fresh jalapeno peppers, bell peppers, mushrooms, onions, and ricotta cheese dollops. All of them were delicious. My main complaints are that one of the slices was a bit overcooked, causing a char on the crust, but some people do like that. The buffalo chicken was a bit bland in the spice department for me, kind of like a Frank's Red Hot, but I'm a lover of extremely hot sauces. And the price is a bit much too, at around $8 a slice since it's located on the strip. So perhaps 1 or 2 slices at most is enough. Still, the food was enjoyable, and it gets a hooroo from me. In-N-Out Burger. Now here's a place I was very excited to try. I've heard about it for years, and again, always good things. I had previewed their menu ahead of time and knew what I wanted. Combo number 1, the double with fries and a drink for a little over $10 after tax. But before going there, I ended up receiving a tip that I should ask for Animal Style. Now Animal Style, I thought, what's that? So I looked it up, and it's your burger made with a mustard cooked patty, and in addition to the regular toppings, they add pickle, extra spread, and grilled onions. You can also get your fries Animal Style, which tops them with cheese, grilled onions, and the spread. I was definitely in on this idea. Animal Style brought it up to a little over $13. I got my order and I went to the condiment table, and lo and behold, what did I see but some little yellow hot peppers. These ended up being casabella peppers, and if you know me, you know that I love spicy food and I love me some hot peppers, so I grabbed myself a hearty helping of these to go with my meal. The peppers were, of course, delicious to me and complemented the meal well. I tried the fries next and fell in love. They're a little bigger than a shoestring, crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and cooked to perfection. The toppings on them heighten the flavor, but it definitely turns it into more of a fork food than a hand food. The burger itself, that had a nice and fluffy bun with an expertly seasoned patty complemented by the melted American cheese, and the Animal Style toppings just brought all that up to an 11. It was absolutely delicious. In-N-Out gets an emphatic ooh from me, and I highly recommend, if you've never had it before and have the opportunity to, that you should do so. Raising Cane's. I'd heard about Raising Cane's around 8 years ago from an acquaintance that lived in Texas that I'd met through an online gaming group. Now, this place specializes in chicken fingers and is also known for its dipping sauce. I absolutely love me some chicken, and I'd been dying to try this place out, so I could not pass up the opportunity. I went big and I got their Caniac combo. Now that comes with 6 chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries, Texas toast, coleslaw, and 2 sides of their cane sauce. I started with the coleslaw, even though I'm not normally a fan of the slaw. I did find it tasty though. Sweet yet creamy with a nice crisp texture. Next I tried the fries, crisp on the outside, soft on the inside, and pleasantly cooked to perfection. Garlic bread was next, and it too was cooked to perfection. Crisp around the edges, soft in the center, and perfectly buttered and garliced so that it wasn't overwhelming and greasy. Finally, I tried those chicken fingers. Crispy batter that gripped those chicken fingers, but was also light and fluffy. The chicken itself was moist and juicy. These were super delicious. But what about that cane sauce? It's got the consistency of, say, a ranch dressing, but with a tangy, smoky, peppery flavor. I could probably drink a gallon of this stuff, it's so delicious. It's the perfect complement to the fries and the chicken fingers. Raising Cane's gets an emphatic ooh from me, and again, if you've never tried this place, you absolutely must if you have the opportunity. Alright everyone, let's jump into our gaming portion of the trip. We definitely visited some very impressive places while in Las Vegas, but also unfortunately ran into some duds. First up, Level Up. This one is located within the MGM Grand. They had a full bar as well as a live stage for bands to play. If you enjoy live music, that portion may appeal to you. But what about their game selection? They had some racing games, Cruisin' Blast, ATV Slam, and MotoGP, a couple of shooting games like Transformers Human Alliance and Nerf Arcade, one AC/DC pinball machine, a stuffy catcher, and a ton of what I refer to as ticket games like you'd see in a Dave & Buster's. They also had your typical basketball games, an air hockey table, and some pool tables. Surprisingly, they also had beer pong tables as well. But honestly, this place just came off as being like a Dave & Buster's to me, and I do not find much interest in Dave & Buster's. They are not arcades in my opinion. They're entertainment centers that revolve around the ticket and prizes hustle. Unfortunately, Level Up gets a chip funder from us. The Nerd, located in downtown Las Vegas within the Fremont Street District. Upon walking in, you're going to see they have a full bar that has TVs above it connected to PlayStations for the patrons to play. Off to the side in a corner is a little pop culture area with interesting knickknacks to look at. There's also a dance machine that appeared to be shut down when we arrived, and a couple of import arcade games. Over here, you can pay $5 to get your picture taken sitting on the Iron Throne. There's also a mechanical bull in the shape of a giant penis that you can ride. Now, that got a little chuckle from us. Off in a corner, there seemed to be a Switch that customers can play. They also have some bowling lanes, a row of crane games with assorted prizes. There's a Cut to Win, and a Jurassic Park shooter. Heading downstairs, they had a Justice League themed air hockey table, a Nitro Trucks racing game, Guitar Hero arcade machine, basketball, Star Wars themed Pinball FX arcade machine, a high-end $20 per play crane game, boxing machine, and a Nerf arcade. Back upstairs here, there's also an NES Mini for patrons to play. Off in a corner near the bathroom, there are some actual classic arcade games, Street Fighter II, Karate Champ, NBA Jam, and Golden Tee. Now, one interesting draw to some people might be that they have a large amount of luchador and American wrestling memorabilia, some of which is actually from and signed by the wrestlers who actually wore them. They also function as a venue for concerts, as MC Chris had been there the week before I had arrived. Even though it's disappointing that they do not have a large amount of traditional arcade games to give it a true arcade feel, I can see the potential draw to this place. While not an outright hobu from us, I think it's a location to keep an eye on and visit if anything we discussed is of particular interest to you. A Gamer's Paradise. Now, we stumbled across this little game store on our way through Las Vegas's Chinatown district while on our way to our next location. Well, there was no way we could pass up this place, so we stopped in, and I have to say, we were not at all disappointed. For entertainment while you're there, they have some pinball machines along with main machines, and classic arcade cabinets to play in the main area, as well as in the back in a little mini arcade area. They also have Xbox, Xbox 360, Nintendo 64, and Xbox One demo kiosks throughout the store. They also have gaming pop culture knickknacks scattered about and original copies of classic gaming magazines like Nintendo Power hung out. In terms of GameStop, they have everything from first generation through current consoles, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to not find either something that you are specifically looking for or something that is at least of interest to you. Along the ceiling, they have shelves filled with classic console and peripheral boxes, both from North America as well as imported, that really take you back in time and are some fantastic memorabilia and history to see. They even had the elusive Panasonic Q complete in-box for sale, and that's just one example of their incredible stock that is available. The real cherry on top here, though, has to be their Video Game History Museum. This was incredible to see. It's filled with what must be every single major video game console and computer gaming console ever released within North America, as well as imported. They even have some that run along the upper wall that are hooked up for you to play. This was an absolute joy to see, and truly takes you back in time, as well as being able to appreciate the preservation that they're doing here. If you are ever in Las Vegas, you absolutely must visit this place. They get an ecstatic hooroo from us for sure. Game Nest. Located a little further down the street from A Gamer's Paradise, this arcade specializes in offering up a lot of Japanese import arcade games, as well as splashing in some classic American arcade games. They have some stuffy catchers, a wide variety of racing games, including Mario Kart 2, Arcade GP, some light gun shooters that include Transformers Human Alliance again, Luigi's Mansion Arcade, House of the Dead 4, and some others. And if you're into dance games and rhythm games, they definitely have those in spades here as well. We also found a little section that contains some modern fighting games to play, such as Street Fighter 4, Tekken Unlimited Tournament 2, and BlazBlue. They also have a section with some classic arcade games, as mentioned before. A few of note are the SNK cabinet here, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and Gauntlet Legends. Off in the corner, there is also a lounge area where patrons can sit down and enjoy playing on various consoles such as PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. All in all, this was an enjoyable place, but definitely is a bit more niche due to the heavy focus on Japanese import games. Still, it's a highly recommended stop to at least whet your gaming palate on some foreign games that you may have never tried before and may not be able to try anywhere else. It's definitely a hoo from us. Area 15 and Emporium. Now, here was a very intriguing destination. Area 15, clearly a play on Area 51, is an interesting sculpture, music, and light art and burner experience. Outside, they have some interesting sculptures, including one that looks like a giant robot that fell down and broke its legs. Now, upon walking in, you're going to see a design that's, say, reminiscent of walking into a spaceship airlock. Heading into the main area, you are immediately hit with black lights and lighting effects abound. It's actually a very fun visual experience. They have entertainment attraction experiences that focus on lights, sounds, and music. And one particular experience of note is what was explained as, say, a post-apocalyptic grocery store that you can go ahead and go through and tour. And from what I was told, it's filled with a ton of products that kind of make use of puns or plays on words. So one example we were given was that they have nutless salted peanuts, which means it's just a big can full of salt. It's very interesting stuff throughout here that we saw and that you should go ahead and check out, but that's not why we came here. So, up to the second floor we went, and that's where you're going to find the Emporium Arcade Bar. Here they have a full bar with a large menu filled with gamer and nerd pop culture drinks that you can order. They also have your typical basketball, foosball, and pool tables. And the video game selection? Absolutely fantastic. This place is filled to the brim with real classic arcade machines like pinball machines. Here's The Simpsons, Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, X-Men, and many, many others. Now, before we left, we noticed there's some stairs that are leading downstairs, so we just had to see what was down there. Heading on down, it is an entire other second level, complete with its own bar, and even more classic arcade games like Donkey Kong, Super Mario Bros., Rampage, and others. If you want a more authentic arcade experience, this is definitely one of the places that you should visit, as you are not going to be disappointed. Ecstatic hoo from us here too. Pinball Hall of Fame. The pièce de résistance of this trip. Nestled down on the Las Vegas Strip near the Las Vegas sign, the Pinball Hall of Fame focuses on preservation of classic as well as what could easily be described and considered as antique pinball machines. I'm fairly certain they have some stuff that dates back to the 30s or 40s here, which I think they called them flipper machines back then. It's absolutely amazing and reassuring to see this massive level of preservation happening, while at the same time having it be shared with entirely new generations of gaming enthusiasts. They also have a huge selection of classic video game arcade machines such as Joust, Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and tons of others. One machine of note is that they have what is widely considered the first coin-operated video game arcade machine, Computer Space. This is truly impressive and historic, and I was honored to be able to see an actual original cabinet even if unfortunately it was not in working order at this time. They also have a few more modern machines and arcade games to play as well. We even ran across some more stuffy catchers here. This place is huge, and the amount of pinball machines and video game machines is daunting. You could easily spend the better part of a day here, if not a whole day, attempting to try and play everything. It would easily take an entire long-form video to even try to show you everything. But please do make sure that before you leave, you visit their counter and swag gift shop area and pick up something, as all the proceeds go to funding and supporting this worthy cause. Also, if you do go, please remember to be respectful and careful with the equipment. This really is a special location where the people are working very hard to preserve gaming history and be able to share it with future generations of game lovers. So let's be sure to honor and cherish that. I think it goes without saying here that the Pinball Hall of Fame definitely gets the highest and most ecstatic hooroo from us possible. Do not pass up an opportunity to spend some time here if you are in the area. Thank you all once again for tuning into Videa Entertainment Studios and joining us for our tour of Las Vegas. We really appreciate your time and viewership. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. As always, I'm the Nerdlust Daddy, reminding you all to not be chit fudgers to each other. Body autonomy for all, reproductive rights for women, and peace, love, and happiness to all. Goodbye, everyone.